What's up, Bulls Nation? You found yourselves locked on Bulls. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. It's Monday, December 6th. Up ahead on today's episode, we're breaking down that big win over the Nets on Saturday that had the Bulls saying, hey, thanks for the visit, New York. See you later. We beat both y'all's teams. Lots to break down. DeMar dominating the fourth quarter. Big night for the Rook, Ayo Dosunmu, and much more. That's all ahead on a fresh Locked On Bulls. Let's go.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up and welcome into Locked On Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my co-host Big Dave Watson at BAW, B-A-W-L Sports. You can follow us at Locked On Bulls. You can also hit us up on that text and voicemail line, 331-979-1369. Today's episode of Locked On Bulls is brought to you in part by Prize Picks. Check out prizepicks.com and use the promo code NBA or go to your app store and download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. And we thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Big Dave, my friend, how was the weekend, buddy? How you doing?
Weekend was good. I spent some of that weekend with you, so it was awesome.
Watching the Bears suck at football.
Yes. Thanks for talking me into that because I didn't want to, but it was so much fun. Thanks to everybody who tuned in, and yeah, it was great. But yeah, very good weekend. It was great.
The best part of the weekend, obviously, was watching the Bulls beat the one-seeded Brooklyn Nets on Saturday. Lots to break down in this game, Dave, but let's start here. DeMar DeRozan leads the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. And after a Knicks win on Thursday, where DeMar had 18 of his 34 in the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan against the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday, 13 of his 29 in the fourth quarter. Call him mid-range flawed, call him this, call that, call him whatever you want. DeMar is closing, man.
Yeah, but you can also call him a winner. You can also call him the best fourth quarter scorer in the NBA. You can also call him right now an MVP candidate. You can also call him, pin him in for an all-star spot, ladies and gentlemen. Call him all those things as well. He has been absolutely phenomenal and amazing for the Chicago Bulls team. And what you're seeing him do, guys, is the fact that he has so many nice open lanes that he can just go ahead and take his time and do it how he feels. Because you can't double team him like that because you got another monster that we're going to get into a little bit later that's right next to him. And then you got another monster down low that he could get into. And it's like, what are you going to do? And then when Zoe is hot and hit threes, you really can't do anything. So he has nothing but space, time, and opportunity. And he's doing it, Matt, in a way that we said he was going to do it, but I didn't think we thought it would be to this extent. Dude, you might be an MVP candidate. We're seeing him get it in early in that second quarter, like we said it was going to happen. And then we said when he needs a bucket in the fourth quarter, he's the guy to go to. I didn't expect this high of a clip of all of those things, but I am pleasantly happy that it's happening this kind of way, straight up. But he has just been phenomenal for the Chicago Bulls. He really has.
There's just so much in his bag, man. And it's weird because I think a lot of times, NBA fans, when they're watching their teams in, these half-court situations where the game slows down, it's a tight game late, and you worry about ISO ball becoming a thing that's just like, movement stops, ball movement, and player movement stops. And so far, knock on wood, DeMar and Zach LaVine have been able to find this really nice balance of when to take over and get themselves a good look with their isolation skills.
Yeah.
And when the Bulls can capitalize on ball movement and player movement. And DeMar DeRozan right now in mid-range appears to be completely unguardable. I mean, the guy's got so much in his bag. Some of these ISO shots where he finds and frees himself up for space, he's going behind the back to the spin move for that fadeaway from the left side over the, just hitting some ridiculous shots. late in the game against Brooklyn, I think there was a mismatch, and then all of a sudden he had LaMarcus Aldridge on him when DeMar was at the top of the key, and DeMar saw that and was like, oh, cool. Dribble, lull Aldridge to sleep, took one step inside the three-point line, and just boom, in his face. I mean, it doesn't matter who's on DeMar because he is so good at creating just the little amount of space he needs to get off his shot, and it's really beautiful to watch.
You know what? Will Purdue pointed this out as well. He doesn't usually guys free themselves up by using their arms to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you put out your forearm, you try to create space and, you know, maybe a push off or things like that. DeMar doesn't use that. He uses his body and he uses his footwork because his footwork is supreme. If you sit there and you're watching his footwork, it is supreme. Oh, Matt, what about that one where he got it and he split the two defenders with the pump fake and went under them for the
layup. And then the step through? God, yeah. That was beautiful.
Man, dude, it was amazing. That's all classic footwork, man. He is a pump fake master, okay? He will pump fake you 3-4 times. You're going to bite on one because if you don't, he'll still hit the shot. Like you're screwed either way. And then you can send him to the line. And he's just been absolutely a beast getting to the free throw line, man. And it's just been great to watch, man. His numbers in the fourth, I believe it's like a 50, 30, 90 or something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really ridiculous what he's been able to do. And it's he's on our team. Like, we got this guy on the Chicago Bulls, man.
Yeah, and I think maybe the most beautiful part of DeMar's game, DeMar's fourth quarter, and that's saying something because I was just marveling at him with that shot making in the fourth quarter. But late in a close game, you know, Durant drilled that three to cut it back to a 2-point game. And then coming down the floor again, DeMar's got the ball, and you're like, okay, is this going to be another DeMar ISO? Just try and find his spot, try and get a good look. And finally, the Nets were like, oh, maybe we should double team DeMar DeRozan because he's killing us. And DeMar looking to create some space, like right at the top, you know, right at the free throw line area where he loves to operate, gets the Brooklyn defense to collapse on him. And then out of the corner of his eye sees, oh, who's that over there? Boop, Lonzo Ball. And the fact that DeMar, and he talked about after the game, said, I know Lonzo's been struggling with his three-point shot in these 2 games in New York, but I had the utmost confidence in him that he was going to knock that down. And he was even, like, Lonzo missed yet another 3, not even a minute prior. And it was another rough shooting night. Lonzo was 1 of 6 from downtown before that shot, but DeMar collapses the Brooklyn defense, dishes a great look to his teammate who he trusted, and Lonzo knocked down the dagger, man. It was a great moment for DeMar and for Lonzo.
Yeah, man. What did I talk about last time when he went 2 for 10, Lonzo? I said, I'm okay with it because he's continuing to shoot the basketball. And this is what I mean by that. He's out of his memory as soon as he misses it or he hits it. It's out of his memory. He continues to shoot. That's what you want, the confidence. And that was a confident shot. That was somebody said that after he hit that shot, that was the most LeVar Ball thing he's ever done in the NBA. That little walk he did, everything. Like, it's true. It was. But dude, let me run down DeMar DeRozan in the fourth quarter numbers, man, because this is a little dumb. I just want to run this down here. 178 points. That's first in the NBA. That's 7 points a game in the fourth quarter. That's also first. 53, 46, 90. This is all fourth quarter. 53, 46, 90. 63 field goals. That's first. 119 field goal attempts. That's first. 5 of 11 from the three-point line and 52 free throw attempts. That is third. The Bulls are plus 69 with DeRozan in the fourth quarters. That's the highest plus minus of any player with 200 plus minutes. That is elite shit. Right? That's what that is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up and down. That is amazing stuff he's doing. This is not stuff I was fathoming. This is not stuff Matt was fathoming that we be talking about as far as DeMar DeRozan and being as good as he is. We knew he was going to be good. We knew he was going to help the Bulls. We knew he was going to pay serious dividends for the Bulls. But we're talking elite right now when we're reading these numbers, guy. This is the next level right here. We're going through the platinum door right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the gold door right now. We're like, there's a platinum door? Like, oh my God. So yeah, we're looking good. They're looking good.
I also want to talk about the night that Zach LaVine had. He poured in 31. And again, I saw some decision-making from Zach LaVine in the fourth quarter that was very encouraging. We also got to talk about Ayo, the Rook, having a strong night in Brooklyn. We'll do that coming up next. But first, got to tell y'all about Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy made easy, y'all. Prize Picks has the best NBA DFS prop game on the market. Prize Picks offers more NBA props than any other DFS prop operator and offers all the superstar players as well as bench players, only recording a handful of minutes each game. Everybody who uses promo code NBA when they make their first deposit and sign up at Prize Picks will get a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's an awesome deal. Pick 2 to 5 players and then over and under on their projections, and you can win up to 10x on any entry, and it's just you versus the projected numbers. Prize Picks even allows mixed sport entries, so you could take the over on Justin Fields rushing yards when he comes back from this rib injury, and the over on Zach LaVine made threes in a night, and put them all into one bet. It's a lot of fun. Use the award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in just 60 seconds or less. It's really that easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. So don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com and use promo code NBA or go to your App Store and download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy.
Oh, man, it's back. So look, this weekend was here. I know what you were doing. You were sitting around, you were chilling, and you just wanted to watch the game. Kids screaming and yelling. You wanted to tune them out. You want to watch the game. You just want to watch the TV shows. You want to do all these things. But no, you got to invite the kids into your man cave. Why? Because they know the Wi-Fi code. Why? Because they know where the remote is and they know how to program and they know how to use it. So now you got to have them in there, and now they done left eye boogers and stuff all over your remote and on spaghetti and everything, and now your whole thing is messed up. We can get rid of all that, y'all. We get rid of all of it. One thing, it's called DirecTV Stream. And it brings together all your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. So you can watch all your favorite sports, movies, and all your favorite shows in one place. That means no more juggling those remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, y'all, there is no annual contract. So get rid of that clutter. Get rid of that confusion and get your thing together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
Moving along here, breaking down this Bulls win over the Nets that has them in the second spot in the Eastern Conference. Big Dave, another strong night from Zach LaVine. 31 points. Just some incredible stuff. Like the step back three he hit when he had James Harden guarding him. I was like, this is elite NBA entertainment. Because Zach LaVine is starting to get to that level of respect as an NBA star. And Harden was having a tough night. I think Harden was like 5 of 21 on Saturday, which you love to see. Thanks for that, James. But it was just a moment in time where I was like, I think Zach might go to his step back right now because he's sizing up Harden. And he took a step back and just drilled a three in Harden's face. And I was like, this is amazing. But again, and we've seen this from Zach a little bit more recently, and it's something that Bulls fans and national NBA media have criticized Zach about in the past: late game decision making. And one possession game late. It was like the Bulls and Nets had taken turns with empty possessions. The Bulls are up 103-100. There's like a little over a minute left in the game. Zach LaVine has the ball, and you're thinking maybe it's 3-point o'clock. No, put his head down, split Brooklyn defenders, and had a beautiful up and under layup to push the Bulls lead back up to 5. Next possession, what happens? Zach LaVine attacks again, draws a foul, and knocks down 2 free throws. Zach LaVine, late in close games, is starting to trust more the fact that he can attack the basket, make a shot at the basket, or force the refs to blow their whistle because he's drawn contact. And it is a critical element to the Bulls winning more of these close games that they lost all of last season.
Wow, that's so true, Matt. So many things I want to get into right here with Zach LaVine. First of all, he was my favorite one of that game. Just the way he played, Matt, because I've been waiting just on a game. I'm like, it's time for Zach to have that game. I saw him almost have it in New York. He had that half in New York, but I needed him to have that game. He had that game for me with the Nets. 31, 8, and 6. Okay. Ooh. That is vicious. Now he was 9 of 20, and he was 2 of 9 from the 3-point line. But ladies and gentlemen, it makes me so proud to say this. 11 of 13 from the free throw line. DeMar DeRozan only had 4. He only took 4 free throws. Zach LaVine is who got it. Here's a couple things about that. I talked about last time how I think that he would get more calls if he, like you said, was driving towards the lane, but was using his speed, and guys would be reaching in instead of him going in trying to, get contact with the body and things like that. They don't call that. I don't know why, but they don't call that for him.
But they call reaches.
They call the reaches. That's what they call. And that's what I noticed in that New York game. You saw that a lot in this Nets game. That reaching in was being called. So when the reaching in started being called, then the other one started being called. That should always be called for Zach LaVine. Here's the other thing. Zach LaVine has been studying DeMar DeRozan, ladies and gentlemen, and how to get to the free throw line. And the play that stuck out to me, Matt, he got it. He went mid-range. I don't remember what quarter it was, but he went mid-range, Matt. And he had his back to the basket. He turned. And what did he do, Matt? Pump fake, turn, spin, fade, slap on the wrist, foul. I said that is DeMar DeRozan all day long. That is what DeMar DeRozan does. That's what Zach pump fakes. When Zach pump fakes, he fakes once and he goes up and he shoots. And he fades and he shoots. He don't hit you with a couple and then make another move and then try to shoot the ball. That's not what he does. That's what DeMar DeRozan does. He has been studying DeMar DeRozan. They have been talking, and it worked. And Zach, man, got to the free throw line. It is crucial for Zach LaVine and his longevity in playing a long season, and for his mental when his shot isn't falling, for him to get to the free throw line. He needs to be treated like that NBA star that he is. And this was a game that you first started kind of seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about DeMar's fourth quarter stats. You rattled off a bunch of them and how elite they are. I believe after the Brooklyn game, Zach LaVine was 3rd in the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. So I love, and you're totally right. It's a really good point that maybe Zach has been observing certain ways in which DeMar gets those calls, gets himself to the free throw line. We knew it was one of the big reasons why AK and Eversley were hot on the idea of bringing in Lamar, because the Bulls were, I'm pretty sure, dead last in free throw attempts per game last season. They needed more of that, and even their star player wasn't getting enough free throws. So you know how you can really increase your chances of winning a close game late?
How's that, man?
3 points at the free throw line. 3 points. 3 points. And it's really interesting. And Casey Johnson wrote about this last week with the NBA's rule changes. And some of these star players, whether it's James Harden or Trae Young or Luka Doncic, maybe not getting some of the calls that they had been used to making or getting in years past because of the ways that they kind of manipulate the system and create a little bit of contact and even at times just sort of like jumping into their defender if they get them up a little bit. And the NBA say, we're going to do away with this. It's ticky-tacky. It's cheap. It's sort of like a cheat that, it's not basketball. It was a trick in the system, and some players were very much so exploiting that trick in the system to great success. But the way that DeMar operates when he's on the ball and the way that DeMar tries to free up space and then also within that space get his defender to close on him in a way where a whistle is blown, it's just different enough where it's not like he's trying cheap shot stuff to, like the sweep through move or the jumping into a defense. No, he's just playing good isolation basketball and either getting the good look that he wants for a shot or forcing a defender to foul him. And if Zach LaVine is absorbing the way that DeMar does that successfully, and we've got 2 guys who in the fourth quarter can get to the free throw line at will, while the other players in the league are trying to figure out what exactly it is that these officiating changes are, it's just going to give the Bulls a huge leg up, man.
Yeah, and there's nothing that you'll be able to do about it. You're just going to have to take it and accept it, man. This is just so good to watch those two guys play off each other and learn from each other. Like, this is a big thing, and I think you're just going to see more of that as the season goes along and the Bulls keep on moving, man.
Keep on moving. All right, we also had we gotta talk about Ayo, man. God, that was a fun game to watch from Ayo on Saturday. We'll do that right up next, but first, I don't know if you guys know this, but Built Bars are really delicious protein bars that taste like candy bars. The holiday season is here. So grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, filled with so much holiday goodness, rich with decadent flavor, covered in chocolate, but amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat. But again, high in protein. You get the best of both worlds, delicious and healthy. So many flavors that you'll have a hard time choosing your favorite. Is it raspberry? Is it mint brownie? Is it double chocolate? Is it cookies and cream? Peanut butter brownie? Maybe one of the limited time flavors that they always have at the top of their website, built.com, right now, including flavors like caramel macchiato and white chocolate cheesecake. Get on board, people. Big Built Bar gives you that extra fuel you need to bust down those mall doors to battle all the holiday shoppers, or if you're just standing in endless shopping lines, Built Bar can give you that extra something to keep you going. So throw one in your jacket pocket or your purse. You never know when you're going to need it. Hey, maybe you're tight with Santa Claus. Well, tell Santa to throw a few Built Bars in those stockings.
What up, Santa?
With so many flavors, they'd make anyone's Christmas morning a happy one. Want to cozy up with something warm? Here's a holiday secret for you, Dave. Dip your Built Bar into a piping hot cup of cocoa.
Shut up.
Let it melt a little and give your beverage a bit of that Built Bar goodness. Plus, you'll have a nice melty Built Bar to go with it. Be sure to have a couple of napkins on hand if you want to try that idea. So right now, what do? You go to Built.com, you check out all those limited time flavors, you make your order, and you use promo code LOCKED15 at checkout to get 15% off. It's simple, it's easy, it's delicious. Do it. Built.com.
Oh, amazing. Listen, man, another awesome sports weekend. You watch the Bears get embarrassed. You know, you watch the Chiefs play. You saw Lamar Jackson not throw a 2-point conversion. I still don't know how that happened, but I guarantee you guys probably had some money on the game. And if you had money on the game, there's only one place that you should have been at doing it, and that is Bet Online, because they got you covered all season long with more props, more odds, and more lines than ever before. As the football season continues to march to the playoffs and the NBA season is in full swing, BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Just go right to that new website, sign up today, receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit, and use that promo code LOCKED ON to receive that bonus. That is Locked On. Basketball, football, hockey, boxing, UFC, favorite Vegas casino games, golf, tennis, darts, that little brush thing they do the Olympics on the ice. You can bet on that too. Curling. Thank you very much, Matt. Don't wait. Take advantage of all the amazing offers this season that will be available to you and yours for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Sports.
All right. So we talk about the superstar performances of Zach and DeMar. I think if you're going to highlight one other player from this win over Brooklyn, it's got to be the rookie Ayo Dosunmu, right, Big Dave? I mean, talk about coming up big in a big game on the road. And we've seen this before from Ayo. Like, he had a big game and big moments in that crazy comeback against the Celtics in Boston. Like, he had some strong moments in that Knicks game, and he was called upon to play a larger role because guess what? Not only are you without Kobe White, who stayed home, he's got positive COVID-19. Javonte Green pulled out. He tested positive. And Alex Caruso, after just a short stint, one stretch in the first quarter, the Bulls medical staff said, you know what? Not looking good. You're done for the night. Ayo, they needed Ayo in that game, and he delivered, man.
Before I get into Ayo, Matt, could you say that last part you said about Caruso again? Why he wasn't in the game? What happened? What was that part you said?
Because the Bulls medical staff looked at the way he was running up and down the floor in the first few minutes and decided they didn't like it, so they pulled him out and told him he was done.
The Bulls medical staff. Did you hear what he said? The Bulls medical staff. That is a medical staff. He was not playing well. He hit 2 threes, though, that were very important down the stretch, too. Shout out to him for that. But, dude, his medical staff said, dude, you need to sit down. You're hurting us. You're not playing. You should take care of yourself. You know when that doesn't happen? When these past years was going on, because Tanaka! He's not here! Tanaka! Oh, yes! God, that felt good. Get off my team. Yes, we got a medical staff, baby, that is looking out for the players' health, trying to protect them from themselves. Man, that made me excited when I saw that. Okay, got that out the way.
I live for those moments in time when Big Dave has to do like a streetcar named Desire Tanaka yell.
Like I'm just standing outside. Oh, Tanaka!
Oh my God. Yes. It's so good. Yes. It is lovely that the Bulls, in addition to overhauling their front office, the coaching staff overhauled their medical staff. Long overdue.
Yes.
But okay, Big Dave.
Yes.
Ayo. Let's go.
11 points. 3 rebounds, and my favorite, Matt, was the 2 blocks that he had. Now, let me deal with the points first. I'm talking about every time since the Boston game is the first game that comes to mind, where he didn't miss a shot and he was just hitting all key buckets, that comeback that they had. But he's been doing this since the first game of the season. Since he first got into the game, since the first game, he has been key. And I don't mean just a contributor. He has been key, key buckets, key job on defense. He is yet to look out of place. No moment has looked too big for him. He has been huge. The best part of that 11 points was what? The free throws at the end of the game. When he got fouled by Kevin Durant, it was a 3-point game. You just needed one, and guess what he did? He stepped up and he gave you one. He was like, cash, all net, I'm going to give you this one, take you up by 4. That was hugely important, and he didn't look fearful. He didn't look intimidated. Anything like that. He looked ready for that moment, Matt. He was awesome for the Bulls scoring. Defense-wise, had some cats in jail. It was awesome to see, man. Matt, that block he had on that Nets rookie when he came down the lane, they never just knew he was all alone because he went up on Lonzo, and Lonzo kind of backed off because he wasn't trying to draw the foul, and he went up on Lonzo, and Ayo out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Through that, man. And not only did he block it, still kept it in bounds. Bulls were able to maintain possession and start the break going down on the other end. That's the key of a block shot, in my opinion. Matt. It's not just blocking the shot. It's being able to make it be a turnover for your team. So when you guys get the ball and you can start in transition. It's nice when you can block it and it goes out of bounds and all that other stuff. It's even better when you can do it and you can get your team the basketball. And Ayo did that, man. And it's just amazing to watch him, man. Nothing gets rattled. He's always ready, and it's just great, man. Chicago's representing, baby.
And I think, it's something that Billy Donovan tried to describe after some previous, game in which the Bulls won and Ayo played well, saying something along the lines of, as far as rookies in the NBA go, he's about as confident as you can be without being arrogant. Because, some players come in as rookies and, especially if they're a high lottery pick and they come in and it's like, I'm one of the most talented players on this roster already, even though it's my first year. And it maybe isn't necessarily the best approach from a team chemistry standpoint, from, that player getting their career off on the right foot. Ayo, no moment is too big for him. And he plays with such fearlessness, but he also is just completely 100% about doing whatever is needed to help the team and is stating as much. And you mentioned that he knocked down the one big free throw when the Nets were forced to foul late in the final seconds of that game. And after the game, he said, yeah, you know what? I'm mostly, upset with myself that I was only 1 of 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Right.
Because, before that splitting that pair, he went 0 for 2 on a previous free throw trip. So he's like, always looking at, I did this well tonight, but what could I do better? And always just saying, I'm ready for the moment because whenever I'm called upon, my job has been preparing myself every single moment as if I'm going to be needed at all times. And I think that kind of mindset can lead to big plays like that. Even though you're a rookie, you know your role, you're confident playing that role, and you feel like you belong as one of the 10 players out there, even like late in a close game on the road against an opponent like Brooklyn, where not only do you have a key block like that, but it was like, a back and forth game, the Bulls and Nets, switching lead changes every possession down the floor. He goes baseline and just hits this cute, amazing, delicious little baseline floating jumper to put the Bulls back up by 1. And you're like, wow, like dude had the confidence to take that shot and make it. And then I think it was a DeMar miss, right? Where Ayo just kind of like was chilling in the corner, and then his man was sleeping because he was only kind of like half guarding him and half hedging towards the paint. And Ayo just snuck past him. I was like, oh, what's that little miss? Boop. Let me just put that back in. Huge bucket on a putback. Like for a rookie to have that kind of confidence and like knowing what is needed in certain moments and being able to read an opportunity like that where, hey, if this happens to miss, I'm going to make a cut and try and get an easy putback. I mean, they're just big moments in big games. And Ayo's just like, yeah, I got that.
And what's also great, Matt, is I think and I can't stress this enough, he is surrounded by the right people and definitely the right coaching staff. Billy Donovan, and this is Ayo said about Billy Donovan. He said, he gives me so much tough love. And I'm so appreciative of all of it. So Billy is, he encouraged, we've heard him. He's very encouraging, but he's very honest and sincere in his assessment of his players. But he's encouraging at the same time. That's a hard thing to do because a lot of people can't do that. Tom Thibodeau is definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Billy Donovan has that skill. And I think him being a college coach is and winning at that college level like he did is one of the reasons he has that kind of skill. So now you see it when you got a guy like Ayo who comes in with a chip on his shoulder, who comes in as a second-round pick, as most people aren't thinking he's going to get a lot of playing time or anything like that. Billy Donovan didn't really look at his game. He started at his mindset. He looked at that first and foremost and saw mentally that, yo, man, this dude might be ready. Let's see if his game is ready. And his game matched it. And it was funny because all these things that you would see the way he shoots, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And can he shoot? Can he get away with that shot in the NBA? I don't know if he can do that again. Like there's certain college things. Yeah, he was the best player in college. You know what I'm saying? But will that translate to the NBA? I don't know if that can work like that. When you're in the right situation, all that stuff can transfer. I think of teams like the Spurs who get that kind of stuff, who get those kind of players who just come right in and contribute immediately, you know what I'm saying, from the draft. They don't miss a beat. Right. He hasn't missed a beat, Matt. And it doesn't feel like too much is being put on him because of the way that he responds and the way he takes it. And the final thing I'm going to say, the way he plays and the confidence that he shows gives confidence in guys like myself and guys like you when we watch him, because you don't feel a pit in your stomach. Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel anything like, oh, man, he coming in, man, I hope he does this, like that. No, you treat him like you see Caruso coming in the game or anybody else coming in the game. You're like, all right, Ayo's in the game. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even think about it. So
usually you would be tense and worried about a rook being on the floor in a situation like that.
Yep.
Late game on the road.
Right.
Yeah. And you're right. Cause like, I already feel that way about Ayo. I'm like, I'm not thinking, like, are we going to get away with a rookie being out there right now? It's like, oh, Ayo. Yeah. Like, I trust him. It's been 20 games and I already trust a rookie to be on the floor in those situations. It's crazy.
It's so nuts, man. And it feels good to say that.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And speaking of that, we might see a lot more Ayo tonight. Bulls welcoming the Nuggets. Bulls are back home playing at the UC tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. Bulls finished that West Coast road trip with a win over the Nuggets in Denver, but a little bit of a difference. Jokic was out in that game. Jokic presumptively available for the Nuggets tonight unless something changes. But the Nuggets dealing with health and safety protocol absences, just like the Bulls. Michael Porter Jr., devastating news for him and the team, out for the year with that back problem that cropped back up again. So tough test for the Bulls here. The Nuggets are only 11-11, but when you got Jokic out there, that's going to be a tough game for you. But it sounds like Caruso doubtful. I would not mind the Bulls just resting him tonight. You don't want a hamstring nagging injury to become a bigger hamstring problem.
Correct.
And hey, you got Ayo. Caruso, take the night off. Ayo's got this.
I need you Saturday, Caruso. I need you Saturday. Go ahead and relax.
That's right. All right. So hopefully the Bulls can get to 17-8 with a win over the Nuggets tonight. That would be great. Can you imagine, Big Dave? Maybe sometime before the end of 2021, the Bulls being a team that is 10 games over 500. Is that even? I couldn't even finish the sentence. It's too wild to even contemplate.
I didn't even cross my mind till you just said that. I'm like, oh my God. I haven't been here in so long. Oh man, dude. I love what you've done with the place.
Woo!
Woo! Man.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's it for today. Thanks for listening as always. If you aren't already, subscribe to us on that YouTube channel and hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. You can also hit us up on that texted voicemail line 331-979-1369 and follow us on Twitter. I'm at Bulls_Peck. Dave is at BAWS Sports. We are at Locked On Bulls. Until tomorrow, Bulls Nation, see red be good. Peace out.